and gentlemen, the show is about to begin.
Noticed that my mic is muted, and you guys didn't hear a word of my intro. That's a fantastic start on my part there. Yay. Anyway, what I was actually saying before the mic was muted. Hello there, everyone, and welcome to the True Pop Culture 7 show. I'm your host, True Pop, here to laugh and think about pop culture stupidity. A bit of a different show today. This might be less than an hour long, to be honest. I thought I'd do a EFAP of my video. It's not much in terms of news going on, apart from Godzilla -1 coming out in the theaters, and yeah, that's like 2 weeks away for me in the UK. So I'm jealous of all you guys watching Godzilla -1 there. Apparently, it's very good. I love going to the cinema, and fear of missing out and all that. But yeah. Apart from that, I don't think much is happening in terms of news to discuss. Let's say hellos to the chat. Tris there stopping by. Hey Tris. Oi popcorn. Hey, this ain't the full Aussie. I can't do an Australian accent. Hola. Hello there. Thank you for stopping by. Hello man. Yes. Cheers for stopping by. Yeah, so as I was saying, yeah, I'm going to do like an EFAP breakdown on my video, and the reason being is because weirdly enough, that video is the most disliked video on the channel. I know, surprising, but it's still overwhelmingly likes. It's just I think it's got like 30 something dislikes, and I think that's more than any video has gotten on the channel. So I definitely ruffled some feathers in this video, and I gotta say, maybe I should have taken the time to write it a little bit more. I mean, when I was writing it, I guess I was treating it more like just my thoughts, but I should have like dived down, deep objective analysis, taken more time to write it, even though my quick thoughts video was taking me a while to write for some reason. Yeah, so there's a bunch of adaptation arguments, some more subjective-y my thoughts arguments. But no, it's been interesting reading out the comments. Some of them I agree with, some of them I don't. Okay, fair enough, and some of them I completely disagree with, completely. So without further ado, I say we get straight to it, and I've already set this up. Waboom! So you guys will be able to see me breaking it down. Yeah. Spider-Man 2. That's exactly what I'm going to be breaking down. The game. I mean the game. Obviously, I mean the game. But hey, let me just play it for you guys here. Alright, let's get to it, shall we? Yes, you read that right. The story is terrible in Spider-Man 2. No, not that Spider-Man 2. The game. I mean the game. No, obviously I don't mean the game. It's funny, isn't it? There's a true pop here, a true pop there. It's true popception. It's gonna be annoying hearing my voice. Well. Interestingly enough, there were some comments in the video saying, "Oh, it's a dig at Southpaw because he made a video on Spider-Man 2." No, that wasn't actually my intention. I can see how someone would see that, Tobey Maguire in the thumbnail. I mentioned Spider-Man 2. But all of this little edit was just to poke fun at the game's names, Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2. Yeah, you can say Marvel Spider-Man 2, but I don't think anyone says that in a Marvel Spider-Man. Like, it'll if you say those two things, it'll still take you a while to figure out if you're talking about the game or the movie or the old games or the legendary Spider-Man 2 game. So I guess I was just, pointing that out. I wasn't gonna throw Spider-Man 2 into the bus. That game, special place in my heart. I did have Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2 was the first console I've ever owned in my life. And yeah, I'm proud to say I had like Revenge of the Sith, video game on there, and Spider-Man 2, and the Hulk something Destruction. I can't remember the exact title of it, but it was a Hulk game, and that was really good as well. That was fun. But no, Spider-Man 2. It never actually worked on my console past the tutorial mission. It always kind of froze and played again. But I was like, I don't know how old I was, maybe 5, 8, somewhere around between the age of 5 and 10, maybe. But I didn't care if the game kept freezing. I just played it over and over again. I love that game so much, because it's a Spider-Man game. And you guys probably didn't notice, but I'm a huge Spidey nerd. So there's that to it too. Okay, let's carry on, shall we?
Before I get into criticisms, I'd like to mention what I think the game did pretty well.
There were some things that the game did pretty well. I had to admit that. No, I wanted this video to be fair-ish. Well, from the comments below, apparently I wasn't fair-ish, but still, we'll get to those. But yeah, all the arcs, all the villain redemptions, I thought they were swell. Tombstone. I wish we could have gotten the Robbie story before we could redeem him, but that was a surprise that it redeems Tombstone out of all the characters. Mr. Negative, yeah, sure, I was fine with it. There was plenty of building with him in the first game, and in here it's just a nice way to end it off, especially with Miles. I wish we could have gotten more out of it, though, to be honest. Because I think this story was the only thing that I found interesting about Miles. His desire for revenge on Mr. Negative. Everything else about his mom finding a new boyfriend and his deaf girl, I was just like, I don't care. I really don't care. Because, you guys might not like it, but I don't like Miles. I honestly don't. And, it's a big enough challenge for me to like his side characters as well, Just like, I don't care about your mom getting into politics or whatever, or running for some election, or I can't remember what she ran for. But yeah, I didn't play Miles Morales. In my gameplay before playing Spider-Man 2 on all the live streams, I remember playing all Marvel Spider-Man, and then all the DLC, which was absolutely terrible. Terrible. And then I just remember playing Spider-Man 2 and being disappointed, I suppose. But yeah, let's carry on.
It's good to see enemies of Spider-Man being more than obstacles for him to punch, and see some character growth. Kraven is easily the best character in this game. A complete badass who is dedicated to his goals.
Now, some people what I've noticed from reading about it in my comments and the game in general, a lot of people did not like Craven. Why? I have no idea why. They just some people just throw him. Oh, he's just there. There's nothing to him. I'm just like, there's a lot of him. He is by far the most interesting character in here. Simply because he ushers competence, and I really enjoy that in whether it's in a movie or in a game. A competent character, because a lot of characters throughout movies, especially in horror movies, are completely incompetent, and that's I suppose where the horror monster kind of steps in and takes them out because they were incompetent. You know, they didn't check under the bed, they didn't check behind them. They ignore the classic signs of a haunting or whatever. You know, the stuff like that is just annoying. But no. Craven was on the ball. You know, hunting down everyone in New York. For some reason, he wanted to challenge Black Cat. I just remember that. Yeah, that was stupid. And for some reason, he hires men henchmen and women henchmen. Henchwomen? Okay, I mean, you know what? Women henchmen can get punched in the face by Spider-Man just as good as men henchmen. So, good on you, Craven, for being progressive and, you know, taking that ESG score to heart. I just found that a little amusing, but, you know, okay, there's variety of people to punch. Because in the last game, Marvel Spider-Man, everyone was just wearing bandana clovers. And every time you stopped like a crime in the street, they were just wearing bandana clovers, and it got a little repetitive after a while, you know. So on the one side, good. There's some variation with the henchmen that you punch. On the other side, you're including henchwomen. That's weird. Men would be a lot more stronger. That's just biological facts. But who am I to judge? Craven's henchwomen. Henchwomen? Henchwomen. That sounds weird to say.
In a lot of ways, he's similar to Thanos in Infinity War. He's introduced by killing some characters from previous stories, establishing him as a powerful opponent. So powerful, in fact, it isn't certain whether the hero can win against them. His ideology is absolutely insane, but his dedication to his goals makes him really engaging to watch. We don't need to feel sorry or empathize with him. He is just a competent villain, something we rarely see in mainstream stories these days.
Yeah, and okay. Is Craven deep? Is Craven nuanced or anything like that? Not particularly. But I still find him really engaging. Just because he's, I don't know, characterization, his oozing this kind of, I don't know how to describe it. The best way to describe it, badassery. You know, he's oozing confidence. He's oozing motivation. He's oozing dedication to his goal. He's got all that. Spades full. You know, he might be simple. You know, he's got cancer, and he's motivated to find someone who can kill him in a fair match. Well, not fair match, but you know. Still, now that I look at this scene, and I think about the final boss fight, it's a little absurd to me that he did not use sound bombs much more often. I mean, he did know the symbiote's weakness, and I don't know why he didn't use that more to his advantage. Maybe at that point he just had a death wish and just wanted to die. But I don't think he did his best in this final fight with Venom. I think at this point he was just defeated and wanted to die. Which is that's where I think I'll criticize him for. Like, he did not give his best shot during this fight. He could have used way more sound wave bombs, sound wave technology, and whatnot. I mean, he knows the weakness of Venom. Why not use it that much more? You know. And Venom is apparently invulnerable to fire. I'm not sure if I like that change. The symbiote is OP as it is. You know, don't add invulnerability to its weakness. Otherwise, it is impossible to defeat. Hey, Little. Hey, yo. Thanks for stopping by, mate. Anyway, let's get on with this video, shall we?
Speaking of feeling sorry for villains, that moves me nice along to Harry's Venom.
Okay, Harry's Venom. Here's where I got some flack, but we'll get to it, I suppose.
I'm not gonna lie, Venom and the black suit were kinda disappointing.
They were.
Disappointed!
Which is a shame since I was looking forward to them the most. I'll talk about the black suit in a second, but let me talk about Venom first. Dear viewers, let me ask you this. Why did Harry need to be Venom in this story? Why not have Eddie Brock as Venom?
Yeah, and I raise up this question. I think it's a good question to ask. Why is it Harry? Still keep wondering about that. And I definitely think it's because Insomniac wanted you to sympathize with him, connect with him. You know, Harry has a relationship with Peter and everything, you know. And I don't like the idea of having Venom be sympathetic. I don't think Venom should be a sympathetic villain. They did that for the last villain, Doc Ock, and he was a sympathetic villain. I don't see a incredible need for Harry to be Venom. I mean, you could have easily have him being Hobgoblin in this show. You know, the Goblin Serum acts as a healing agent to his disease, but he then gets corrupted by it and turns New York City into goblins. Like, there was no huge need for him to have the symbiote and become Venom. I think you could probably make him any villain that, you know, turns other people crazy, so you have like henchmen to fight. I don't think they've established like a good reason for him to have the Venom apart from him being sick. You could easily have it. You could easily have the whole symbiote thing be replaced with like a Goblin Serum. Though I don't feel like they justified this adaptation change too much, which is a shame because I was looking forward to Harry. Well, I knew it was going to be Harry as Venom. I was looking forward to Venom and the symbiotes. And to say I was disappointed would be putting it lightly, I suppose. Hang on. That logo might be in the way. Let's remove it for now. There we go. Hang on. Oh, sorry, I got distracted. Anyway, let's carry on with the video. It's kind of annoying to hear myself talk because I edited this video for quite a while, and to say the least, it was. I think I can hear this video in my sleep. No, editing this thing was a pain. Maybe sometimes I enjoyed it, but you know, getting old clips, putting them in the right spot along with it, yeah, it's work. But it's become a very successful video, and I'm thankful for you guys watching. Seriously, I am. Okay, let's carry on.
It should, because they essentially recycled Otto's villain arc from the.
Okay, when I say recycle, maybe I went a little too far. Recycle might not be the right one. Okay. My justification, I was tired with writing the script. That's my justification. Um, no, not recycled, right? Some comments have pointed out to me, yeah, fair enough. It's definitely a different character, but it's still the same villain trope. A person who does good, is a do-gooder, gets corrupted, and becomes the worst enemy of the hero. And before that, they were like the mentor or the best friend of the hero. I'm just disappointed that they. I think it would have been better to go with Eddie Brock. Have no sympathy, have him be an absolute jackass, and you could still have him be complaining. Because that's what they ultimately did with Craven. Craven was an ass. Crazy shyster who goes around hunting people. But he was still compelling. Harry, I felt that, they tried, but it felt generic to me. It felt, we've done this before. We've done this in the first game. I know you're going to become a villain. I know it. And this is the exact same criticism I had for Spider-Man 1. Like, I know he's Doc Ock. I know he's going to become a villain. And it's the same with this one. I just know. This is predictable at this point. And it's such a shame. Alright, let's carry on.
Previous game. Someone who had good intentions, who had a big fondness for Peter, and became their worst enemy. It's the same arc, just slapped together with a new coat of paint. This approach to writing Venom seems uncreative, lazy.
I mean, I'm trying to think, what sort of interpretation had Venom become a sympathetic villain? It is true, Eddie Brock does have cancer in the comics, and his life is on the downline. He lost his job and blah 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 blah. But he's still fundamentally an asshole. You had all these misfortunes, and the symbiote to him, it's like a chance to be reborn again. Because of his misfortune, he overly relies on the symbiote. There's loads he could do with Eddie Brock as Venom, and with Harry, I just thought it was just a waste, really. I mean, the only ever interpretation of Venom to do Harry as Venom was the Ultimate Spider-Man. Was it 2017? With Drake Bell as the voice actor? Was it 2017? Chat, you might know better than me, but hey. I honestly can't remember. But yeah, there was like a show where Spider-Man had like his own team. Nick Fury like kind of proposed it to him. I when I was watching it, I liked it, but probably if I watch it now, it's not gonna be too good. Hey, I guess Spider-Man animated shows have considerably gone down the toilet, to say the least.
As if they're recycling their previous main villain.
Again, yeah, maybe I went a little too far with, but I guess when I was writing it, I was just like, this is another sympathetic villain. Insomniac, what the hell are you doing? You've not even. I don't feel like they've even tried too much with this Venom interpretation. There was not too much of him to be honest. Not too much of what's the voice actor name? What's his name? That voiced Venom. Crap, I forgot it. I forgot his name. Mr. Bugwood. No. No, they hired a really good voice actor for Venom, and they rarely ever used his voice. And he recently said, that voice actor, that they used about 20-30% of his lines. So that has people theorizing maybe there's a DLC. I doubt it. I doubt it. Maybe. Maybe.
Also, a terrible way to adapt to Venom. Venom is the antithesis of Spider-Man. All the power, none of the responsibility.
Yeah, and the animated Spider-Man show is a perfect example of this. I think the 90s animated Spider-Man might be the best Venom adaptation. Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Definitely the best. And there's scenes, I love scenes like this of him just stalking in the shadows, people having eyes around his head, seeing him everywhere. Because Venom is definitely that kind of creeper. And I don't feel like we got too much of that in the game, You see, I know you guys are probably thinking, oh, this guy's a stickler for adaptation and blah, blah, blah. It's not that, all right? I understand that sometimes when you adapt stuff, you need to change it. Like, the perfect example, Batman Under the Red Hood. My favorite Batman animated film. They definitely changed a lot of stuff from the comics. One thing in them that they dramatically changed is how Jason Todd is resurrected. Now, in the comics, it was Superboy Prime punching reality, shattering it into millions of pieces, and resetting, kind of rebooting the universe. Yeah, that's pretty stupid, isn't it? And what did the animated Batman Under the Red Hood do? They just said Raish didn't intend for Jason to be a victim of his schemes, and used the Lazarus Pit on him. And there's the question of, has the Lazarus Pit made him crazy, or has he always just been like this? It's definitely a much more a deeper, enriching change, and I appreciate that. If you're going to change something from the comics, make it good. And if the comics suck, yeah, all the more reason to change it. Who on earth would want to see Superboy Prime punching reality, resetting? It's stupid. Really, it's stupid. But when you have 90s Venom, I just think you could have done a lot more better job at it. Like, I look at all the other interpretations of Venom, and I think to myself, it could have been so good, and it wasn't. They had all this great source material, great movies, great shows to get inspired from. And they didn't really, I don't feel like they stuck the landing with Venom. I'm gonna be honest. There wasn't enough of Venom. Yeah. Like I said at the end of the video, it was just disappointing.
Symbiote knowing a lot. Only wish we could have gotten more of these scenes. Personal conflict between Venom and Peter. Instead, it's all completely overshadowed by the symbiote invasion.
I think this is one of the best points that I make throughout the video. Sorry, I kind of zoomed out. Yeah, the symbiote invasion completely overshadows the conflict between Venom and Peter. Like, yeah, I reiterate in this video, how many times have we seen world-ending stakes in superhero movies? Endless amounts. What would have been more engaging if it was just him, Venom, and Peter? Miles might be in the backseat, but it would have been better if it was just Venom and Peter. At least that's what I feel like. Oh no, yes, this Planet Goo. That joke really got under my spine. Under my spine? Is that a saying? It is now. But no, it was just atrocious. I found that joke. I only found bits in clips of it, you know, but I'm sure there's other references somewhere in the game of them referring to goo. It was bloody annoying. Really annoying. And yeah, here I go through, you know, two people having personal conflict is a lot more engaging. Now, the black suit, I didn't go much detail on, I suppose, because, least interesting, you know? Yeah, and what I said, it makes Peter look weak-willed. If it wasn't for Miles, I don't think Peter would be taking off that suit. Great. That's a great change, obviously. Right there, Miles innovating Peter's individual strength, you know. Listen, I'm sure you could make Peter realize all by himself that what he's doing is wrong and that he needs to take off the suit. They really should have left it to Peter to do. Have Miles back off. This is something Peter would do. You could do it with Miles as well. Have him have a symbiote and then take it off. I wouldn't have a problem with that. But I don't know. Outside help feels like cheating. Let's see, what else do I go on to say? Oh, about the black suit. There was plenty of stuff I wanted to edit into, because they copy like plenty of stuff from other movies, like with Spectacular Spider-Man. Peter was sleeping, and the symbiote was still getting into fights with him. Like, yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, I saw that in Spectacular Spider-Man as well. And there's also the moments where the symbiote can shapeshift into a suit. Interestingly enough, I don't think Venom ever uses that ability. You know, to shapeshift as a civilian, perhaps, or I'm pretty sure it can camouflage as well. You know, mold into like the surroundings. Pretty sure the symbiote can do that, but you might have to fact check me on that. Hey, Pop. Oh, hey, Wookie Be Bad. Godzilla should eat Miles. Fair enough. Godzilla should eat Miles. I don't disagree. Okay. Where was I with the video? Yeah. What else do I want to mention about the black suit? No, there was the sleepwalking that was referenced in Spectacular Spider-Man, which I kind of appreciate. There was the shape-shifting, which was again in the 90s, probably in a comic run as well. Then there was another thing that I'm missing. And there was the horror sequence as well, which I was kind of looking forward to, you know, as soon as I like theorized like, oh, maybe they'll improve the stealth missions but only have like a horror-esque mission with MJ creeping around, escaping from the black suit Spidey or Venom. They did do that, but it's only a fraction of the game. Like, if that were the only thing you do as MJ, I'd be a lot more positive towards the MJ missions. Because no, the MJ missions are so stupid. The criticisms of the MJ missions from the first game still carry over to this game. Nothing has changed. They sidetrack from the game, they slow the game down. They're not really as compelling, or nowhere near as compelling as the Spider-Man missions, where you get to play as Spider-Man. It's on the front cover. Amazing. Who would have thought that? We want to play as Spider-Man we want to play Spider-Man in our Spider-Man game. We don't want to play as a Death Girl, and we don't want to play as MJ. I don't know why they keep spoon feeding us MJ missions. You know, shoving down our throats. It's exactly what they're doing. We will make you like this. No, we didn't like this. The game would be better off without them.
Ignoring Miles's phone calls. How terrible. Oh no, he's being mean to MJ, who throughout this game has been an absolute but. My humble apologies, YouTube. I forgot the sacred rule of thou shalt not swear. If I were to shut down this video and had to pin down the worst elements of this game, it would have to be MJ and the ending. MJ behaves like Amber from Invincible Season 1.
As soon as I said that, I was just like, oof. Tripod, that was harsh. What the hell? Amber in Invisible Season 1. Apparently she's terrible in Season 2. But hey, I stand by my comparison. Especially when she gets the Scream symbiote. Scream has nothing to do with Spider-Man, by the way. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. I don't get it. I really don't. Why would they make her scream just because what? She had a yellow jumper on and she has orange hair? Is that really like a single connection they could make? It kind of looks like her. Let's make it her. And these guys took on a comic book game. It's just like, good God, don't ever adapt anything again, Insomniac. It's just atrocious on a adaptation level to make MJ into Scream. I don't know what they were thinking. I do know what they were thinking. They just looked at Scream and was like, that's a really cool design. Let's make it MJ. And the fact that I cut this audio segment out because it wasn't very clear. Yeah, I've heard this video 1,000 of times because, I edited it. And there were some audio issues, unfortunately, with that. The way I pronounce certain words. I couldn't be asked re-recording it. So I essentially just cut it out. And in there, I just spoke more about Scream, about how she complains at you, how you're not there for her, how she finds a job difficult, and it's just like, MJ, I really don't care about your problems. Sure, you might have it difficult, but I'm sure Peter has it tenfold. So, the fact that you're complaining so much just seems really self-interested to me. That you think the world revolves only around you. Alright? Now, some people in the comments mentioned that, let MJ blow off a little steam. You know how hard it is to live with Peter and she had difficulties. Right, that's the thing. Like, Peter has had multiple different girlfriends throughout his life. All of them could not deal with the superhero element of his life. He constantly wasn't there for dates. He constantly wasn't there for friend meetups. He wasn't there for any help whatsoever. But MJ stayed with him, despite the superhero trouble. It's why she's the best girlfriend, the wife of Peter Parker. Because she tolerates Peter's troubles, Peter's lack of commitments because of his superhero job. Because she knows that at the end of the day, it's an important job. It saves lives throughout New York. It's a great responsibility that Peter has to fulfill. And she understands that. That's why she stays with him. And to see MJ just bitch and complain, especially as Scream, now she has superpowers and can hit Peter Parker in the face and lecture him. Like, I'm pretty sure someone in the comments said, it was an effective tool to convey MJ's frustrations. It wasn't a tool. It was more like a sledgehammer knocking over your head. This is what MJ doesn't like, by the way. Very effective storytelling. How I just scream at him as a crazy symbiote. Yeah, ridiculous. Thoughts on Ratchet and Clank? I have not played it. Pip 911. I have not played it. Clank is a little robot. He's kind of cute. There. Those are my thoughts on Clank. You're welcome. Pip. Anyway, let's get on with the video.
Self-interested and ignorant of their boyfriend's problems. She acts like the world revolves around her. Peter is the one with the weight of the world on his shoulders. Could show a little more care to him. And of course, the MJ stealth missions are back. Oh, what's that you say? Our customers didn't like them in the previous game? Well, too bad. We're going to triple down on them and shove them down your throat.
That's exactly what they did. You know, who does that and just says, you know what, we've been getting some flack for these missions. Let's include them even more. Let's have her become even more powerful with weapons. And the thing is, like, they can't make the MJ missions more fun because the fundamental thing is the MJ mission sucks. You know, it's like building a house on clay, right? And then it's like thinking, oh, why didn't that work? Oh, it's because we built the house a little wrong. No, the foundation is unsturdy, clay. Whatever you're going to put on top of it is going to fall over because it's an MJ mission. So, build a house somewhere else. Focus on the other aspects of the game that you could improve. MJ missions you can't improve because they're stupid at the fundamental level.
Truly a fantastic business practice.
Let's talk about the MJ missions a little bit.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Because you made her like the most OP character in the game. Let's just get it out there.
She's OP.
One shot everybody.
She's
yeah.
OP. I knew that those missions weren't the fan favorites coming out.
Yeah. Did you now? Well, if you really knew that, you didn't seem to accept it. You knew? No, you didn't know. You heard about it. And you didn't even act on it.
Spider-Man 1, we knew we had to make her more of a proactive, capable person. And if she's a little OP, I don't give a shit. But yeah, she's OP. She's probably OP. I don't care.
They are
The arrogance here is off the charts. You know, it's like watching someone trying to insert a circular sphere into a I'm forgetting shapes. Rectangular pegged hole. You know, you will like this, and the puzzle piece is not fitting in because people have said over and over again, we do not like the MJ missions. People who have bought your game in droves, we don't like the MJ missions. And what did they do? They took that, threw it in a bin, We'll stick with the MJ missions anyway. I just don't understand how this stuff gets through. I really don't. Just seems like a terrible business practice.
Really trying to push MJ as a strong, independent heroine. But what these writers and directors don't seem to fundamentally understand is that a character does not need physical strength in order to be strong. Did Aunt May need to take down 30 Craven henchmen and a huge symbiote boss in order to be considered strong? Of course not. She helped Peter when he was in need. And she could have easily asked Peter to save her in this scene. She didn't.
Right, that's the thing with MJ. Let MJ be more like Aunt May and less like Amber from Invincible Season 1. Alright? There's a scale. Aunt May, the loving, supporting, caring individual who has a strong sense of character. Definitely a strong character. And then there's Amber, self-entitled, complaining biatch. Alright? MJ just went dramatically to here. Maybe she didn't went full Amber Season 1, but she's definitely close to it. You know, she's definitely more on the complaining side. And it just makes her tone deaf to the problems Peter has to deal with. He has the weight of the world on his shoulders. Aunt May knew what Peter has to deal with, even though she didn't tell him. She knew. She even says that she knew for a while. Alright? And she was fantastic for that. Because at the end of the day, she still supported him. Whether it's on rent, and whether it's in this sacrifice. This is what MJ should be like. More like Aunt May. And in here, it seemed like she was one of the big reasons why Peter shrugged off his responsibilities towards the end of the game. She shouldn't be doing that. If anything, she should be encouraging him to get out there and save people's lives. But what does she do? No, Peter, take a break. No, Peter, you have to be with me. Don't you know how selfish that is? It's unbelievable. Why do Peter and MJ make such a good pair? Why are they husband and wife? Because they have a great and big understanding of each other. And MJ has a great big understanding of what Peter needs to do and his responsibilities. And it irritates me to high heavens that the developers do not understand that whatsoever. Yeah. So, in a nutshell, MJ should be less like Amber, more like Aunt May. Sorry, that rant got a lot out of me, I suppose. We'll skip over the sad scene because it's quite sad. It's probably the best thing in Spider-Man 1. They never topped this scene. They have never done remotely anything as good as this scene in Spider-Man 2. And that is such a damn shame. Yeah. Anyway.
The ending of this game really shot itself in the foot. Peter takes a break from being...
Look, she's pushing him, encouraging him. Tell him about that break. MJ, you absolute idiot. You're getting rid of the world a fantastic hero. What are you doing? No, the more I think about it, the more I do not like MJ. What did they do to her? Such a selfless individual, and they can never adapt her right. Never.
Spider-Man. This frustrates me
Yeah.
on
See?
a multitude of different levels.
Yes, it did.
He's leaving New York to Miles, the Spider-Man who has much less experience than him.
All right. So, what bugs me about Spider-Man 1 is that he's been Spider-Man for 8 years. He hasn't lost to Gwen Stacy. He hasn't met a Captain Stacy. He hasn't even met a Jean D. Wolf. He hasn't really had a Doc Ock yet, or a Green Goblin, or a Venom. 8 years into being Spider-Man. That always sounded absolutely insane to me. How are those things not happening? You know? But, hey, you know what? Now we can use Spider-Man 1 to its advantage to kick the shit out of this ending. So what? Spider-Man's been now on New York for 10 years? He has 10 years worth of experience. Miles has how many? 2. Maybe 3. 3 years of experience as being a Spider-Man. Right, definitely less than half than the years Peter did. Who would you rather have Spider-Man be? The guy with... Right, you know what? Let's take away the Spider-Man element. Alright? Let's just have it be superheroes. Who would you rather have in your city? A superhero who has 10 years of experience? Or a superhero who has less than half of that? I know which one I'm choosing. Oh, even better, you could have 2 of them at the same time. Oh wow, that'd be amazing, wouldn't it? No, the one with 10 years of experience, he has to take a break. And why does he take a break? Let's find out, shall we?
Throughout this story, the 2 Spider-Men struggled immensely. What makes Peter think Miles could handle another Craven and Venom level threat?
Right. Here the comments are saying, oh, well, Miles can just call him and Peter will help him out. Then what's the point of taking a break from Spider-Man? Oh no, Peter. Yeah, the Venom's come back. Yep, I'm coming towards you, Harry. All right, now I'm taking a break. Oh no, Craven's come back. Yeah, MJ, I know I took a break, but I have to go. So it's just like, what's the bloody point of taking a break if you can't even devote to a break? You can't take a break from being Spider-Man. Not really. If anything, those comments are proving my point. Peter can't stop being Spider-Man. There's always going to be something. If anything, this deregulates Peter, lowers him down a notch, and raises Miles up as being the more proactive Spider-Man. Stupid. If Spider-Man was a less popular character, I guarantee they would have killed Peter. They would have killed Peter off and have Miles be a Spider-Man. If Spider-Man overall wasn't as iconic to the world, they would have killed off Peter in a heartbeat and have Miles prance around as him. Those are just facts. But they can't. Because Miles comics, Miles games, don't sell as well as Peter games. I wonder why that is. Perhaps because Spider-Man is the original Spider-Man. The one that everyone knows. Who is Spider-Man? Peter Parker. That's what people would answer if you asked them on the street. Only a fringe minority would say Miles Morales. Wasn't Doc Ock in Spider-Man 1? Yes. Who is Miles Benes? A white man pushing all his talk to do a black guy who has robbed this whole thing against his will. Pretty on the nose, ain't it? Yep. Yep.
By himself. The two of them together barely succeeded. Two Spider-Man is always better than one. Again, this portrays Peter as someone completely irresponsible. You know, the exact opposite of what a Spider-Man should be. Peter has done this to Miles twice now. Last time he went on a holiday with MJ. And besides, would it not make more sense for Peter to take a break from being Spider-Man if Harry had died? It would definitely give the ending a much more emotional tone, like the last game did. Nope. Miles pulls out a life-saving ability out of nowhere. And Harry is in a convenient coma, ready for the writers to use Venom whenever they want a spin-off game.
Right. This was also where I got some flack in the comments. Like, but in a way, Peter did kill Harry. Now they're having the cake and eating it too. Peter did maybe, but he's still alive. There's a great big thing I'd like to say: consequences of your actions. In here, it's just take it down a notch. You know, let's have him be in a coma. Let's not be that cruel. Let's not have Harry die. And I think that really is shooting yourself in the foot. I think Peter would be a lot more justified if Harry was dead than in a coma, which he'll definitely wake up from. And yeah, and people were also saying, hang on, the Miles ability out of nowhere. Hang on, have you heard of the resuscitation machines with the pads? It's just like, all right, those pads. One thing, that's a machine. Miles is a living human being, right? So the two are a little different. Second of all, Miles has never done this kind of procedure before. He's doing it for the first time. And the third of all, to rebut that argument, is Connor said that you have to kill Venom and it'll kill Harry. I was expecting Harry to disintegrate along with the symbiote. No, he's just there with a stopped heartbeat. It's ridiculous. It's on a little level of contrived. Like, oh, the only thing that stopped is Harry's heartbeat, and you know, Miles can resuscitate it. I don't see how no one sees that as contrived as hell. How does Miles know how to get the voltage right? Does he know anything about paramedics? I think maybe his mother was a nurse, so he might know something, but still. All he needs is just some electricity to the heart, and Harry's in a coma. It's just like, oh, come on. Harry is supposed to be dead, you know? Permanently bonded with the symbiote. The symbiote is probably still with him. It's all stupid. Okay.
Game or something. Harry's gone full circle. At first, he was hibernating in a test tube, and now he's in a coma in a hospital bed. Fantastic. Those have been some of my
Okay, so now that we finished that video, let's read some of the comments, shall we? From Very Serious Video, you might see. Good video, I definitely enjoyed it. If I had to give criticisms, it's that I wish you had gone into more detail on the things you didn't like. And perhaps you could have contrasted these with what you liked about the first game, besides the ending bit. I do think there was probably more to say about that too. Okay, fair enough. I didn't go into enough detail, but yeah, my bad about that. I was trying to get something out there, and this video could have easily been an hour long, you know. But I just did not have the time and energy. I just wanted to get out something that quickly. And at first, yeah, I was planning to do like an objective breakdown, criticism, and as I was writing it, it was getting to like 10 pages, and I just thought, you know what, just turn it into a video about your thoughts instead of like a objective criticism. Otherwise, it will take you more amounts of time to make this video, and I really wanted to get something to you guys, But you're right, I could have went into more detail on some things, definitely. Not sure I completely agree on a few things here. I think MJ was fine in this game, to be honest. No. That's what's no. She's easily the worst things in this game. Her missions were essentially copy and paste, apart from like a instant takedown gun from the first game. So gameplay wise, it's not that big of a change, I don't feel. Like, she still has a stun gun. Like, you still find out stuff from the... And even the symbiote mission, where she's chasing the black suit Peter. What an incredibly dumb decision to use the gun on a sleeping Peter. Like, MJ, what did you think the symbiote was going to react like? Do you think it'd say thank you for zapping me with a gun? No, it's going to chase you around and obliterate you. Like, I don't think, no, you could just carry him out of the tunnel. Miles might be captured, but hey, at least you got Peter out of there. I don't get it. Why did the symbiote run about anyway? Maybe it sensed danger with the Craven henchman, but I don't know. It wasn't really that threatening to you until you zapped it with a gun. I mean, that was just brain dead decision right there. Definitely a massive improvement from the last game. No, I disagree. It's more so the same gameplay from the last game, and she's being incredibly selfish and not selfless enough. MJ is such a selfless character who puts the needs of Peter before herself. And in here, it's just the complete opposite. She's encouraging him. She's encouraging a situation where the city has one less hero. You absolute cow. Also, like he was saying in the interview, her strength is to make the missions fun. It has nothing to do with girl power. Well, they didn't. They weren't fun. If anything, they just were distractions from Spider-Man missions. That's ultimately what I felt. I fundamentally disagree with you here, Sir Isaacs, on MJ missions, or MJ in general. I think she was easily one of the worst things on this game. Also, with the Miles taking over stuff, it really didn't come out of nowhere or anything. Peter was talking about how he can do more to help with the Emily May throughout the campaign. Yes. Which, again, I was a bit iffy with, because, Spider-Man, the most responsible character on Earth, and, there's all these distractions and wants a break. I understand wanting a break, but I would never want Spider-Man to fully go through with it. And here, he went fully through with it. He takes a break, which I'm iffy on. And Miles kept proving himself over and over. Obviously, if they had another serial over, I don't think Peter would just be chilling at home. Right. And that goes back to my point where, what's the point of taking a break if you're going to be part-time Spider-Man now? Really? If you're going to be part-time, you might as well be full-time, and if you're going to be full-time, you might as well be none of the time. Make your damn mind up. To Peter, I mean, not to the commentators, to Peter. I also don't think they recycled the villain arc. Okay. The villain arc, fair enough. It wasn't recycling, but it was still using the same trope, and I don't think they should have went with that on Venom, per se. Okay, yeah. That criticism, fair enough. To be clear, I don't think the story was as good as the third game by any means, but I still enjoyed it. And I think some of your critiques come off a bit nitpicky to me. Well, you'd probably very much enjoy this stream. I was very nitpicky in this stream. That said, I still do like your video. Keep it up. Why, thank you. You know, disagree some of your points. I fundamentally disagree on your MJ punch. I do not find the MJ missions fun. But thank you for checking out the video and leaving a comment. I appreciate you, sir. Watching the video now, low. I do wish there were some more solo missions for Miles, showing him actually looking for Lee and doing investigation stuff instead of him just being kind of passive, talking about how he wants to find Lee, but not actually doing anything to advance close to finding him. Yeah, I agree. More interesting stuff with Miles. The creators have actually said in an interview where they chose Harry to be Venom because they wanted to tell a personal story between Peter and Venom with someone Peter who loves and cares. Yes. And Eddie traditionally isn't someone who is close to Peter. Yes. And I still don't think it was enough of a justification. Like, why do we need him to have the symbiote specifically? You know, it was I don't feel like they justified the change enough. I think Harry could have easily been any other hobgoblin or green goblin villain who turns other people into goblins. You know, I don't think Harry being Venom was absolutely necessary. Apart from the simple fact that the symbiote heals you from diseases. If that wasn't a plot point in the comics, I think they would have probably added it to the symbiote powers, like they add the fire immunity, to be honest. The creators have actually said in an interview, I already read that. I don't agree that Harry is a retread of Otto. In some ways, yes. Do-gooder, does good, is corrupted, is the best friend of the main hero. Ultimately becomes the main villain, arch nemesis. Sorry, get distracted. Whereas Harry is supposed to be the way that Spider-Man treats him while wearing the black suit, the carelessness he showed. Okay. The first game implies that Otto was a villain right from the start. That's an interesting take. He was just planning everything behind the scenes, and he wasn't really that well intentioned. That is an interesting point. I don't know if I entirely agree, because in the very first few missions, he definitely is kind. He definitely wants to help the soldier out. You know, it's only later in the game that we see his blueprints and stuff like that, of the aim and stuff like that, where he gets his technology that he gets incredibly shady. I don't know if I entirely agree. I think it is heavily implied that the mechanical arms, corrupted him, made his brain evil, to put it bluntly. They definitely imply that the arms took him turn. So maybe you're right to some degree, but I still think he was somewhat well-intentioned. And I suppose those arms brought back what he was burying inside. And in the same way, I think the symbiote brought back what was buried inside of Harry. Those deep little dark desires, you know, that everyone has. Like those little things. It always starts off with the little things, and then they grow and grow and grow, and something pulls it out of you. I think for Harry, that was the symbiote, and for Doc Ock, that was the arms. That's actually a great point. I should put that in a video. You know, with the arms corrupting Doc Ock and the symbiote corrupting Harry. So I think, yeah, in some ways they are definitely similar. Actually, I stand by my point that Harry and Otto are similar. Too similar. They should have got it with Eddie Brock to avoid this. And the count refusing to return the suit, as well as Norman starting not treating Peter, that drives Harry into his building. That's the thing. In the very first scene, there's something implied of Harry being afraid of his father, that he won't let him go ever. That there's some conflict in there, and I think that the symbiote just dug him out of it, exactly like the Doc Ock arms took it out of it. That Peter's own actions early drive Harry to become a Venom, which was not the case with Otto. I mean, the only thing that Harry really, the Black Suit Peter really does is just not give him the suit and throw a little insults. Is that going to undo a lifetime of friendship? I don't know. It's just, I'm not saying, okay, that Harry shouldn't be mad at Peter. I'm saying there should be more of Black Suit Peter bullying Harry for your point to stand on its own 2 legs more. There just needs to be more of Black Suit Peter being, well, mean, disheartening to Harry, for Harry to hate him all that much more, to turn on him. But yeah, you make some interesting points with Doc Ock being always evil. I don't know if I agree with that, but there might be some evidence in the game. But I definitely think the Doc Ock arms corrupted Otto, and a symbiote corrupted Harry. What do you mean life-saving ability out of nowhere? Yes, it is a life-saving ability out of nowhere. Yes, it is. Has Miles ever done that before? No, he hasn't. I'm pretty sure he says something before it, like, I hope this works. Meaning that he's not done this before. Yes, it is a ability out of nowhere. He's using it for the first time. And even if it's not the second time, even then it's risky. It's the same thing both real movie and TV doctors do with the Electro machine. Okay, you don't need to explain to me how the machine works. Miles has a complete mastery of them. Why wouldn't he be able to do that as well? I'm not saying that he could probably use his electric powers to have a resurrection machine. It's just everything that's surrounding it is nonsensical. The one that he doing this for the first time, to that Harry's heart stopped and he didn't disintegrate with the Venom symbiote. He didn't fade away with the symbiote. It was supposed to kill him, not just stop his heart. You know, I was expecting him to be deader than dead after that whole anti-venom thing, because the symbiote bonds with you on a genetic level. If you killed it, it's like freaking chemotherapy with that, with the anti-venom suit. That's what it'd be similar to. I mean, it's just be painful. So I have no idea how Harry is still alive enough for Miles to resurrect him. And Miles is performing this for the first time. And does Harry know the right voltage to them? Does Harry... No, not the Harry. Does Miles know the exact voltage to restart a heart? You could definitely turn into a microwave if he puts too much. And he has to do it like 2 or 3 times. Right, what do you mean by life-saving ability out of nowhere? Yes, it literally is out of nowhere because he's doing this for the first time. I think that's the main point I want to come across. And 2, Harry is supposed to be dead. Like, ultra screwed. Well, you tricked us, but I kind of agree. But I still enjoyed the game, and I thought the side content was a lot better than the first. Fair enough. I did enjoy like the Sandman missions. I really like the Sandman missions. I liked getting the Prowler gear. I hated the fact that the Mysterio missions were Miles missions only. Like, making Miles missions only is stupid to me, and making Peter missions only is just stupid as well. Make it as broad. Take advantage of the two Spider-Men as much as possible. Make it two Spider-Mans and all side content. Like, to me, that's stupid to lock Spider-Man out of certain side missions. Stupid. And I thought this and love its use of playable flashbacks from time to time. Yeah, I like the first bit as well. Of the flashbacks of the school and whatnot. But the main story was definitely less cohesive than the original. In the first game, everything in the story smoothly led into the next thing. Kingpin's defeat opens the power vacuum that the inner demons try to fill, and then Martin Lee is caught and back by Octavius, who is true mastermind behind everything. And yeah, Doc Ock does this a lot. He's a mastermind of criminal activity. It was all along an interconnected story, but not true in the second game. The Kraven storyline and the symbiote storyline have no real connection to one another. Apart from the symbiote and the Kraven trying to hunt him, not really. Kraven doesn't really have anything to do with Harry. Yeah. Kraven has nothing to do with Harry. You could tell the Kraven story without Harry and the symbiote at all, and the symbiote doesn't need Kraven specifically. You could tell the Kraven story without Harry and the symbiote and all, and the symbiote story doesn't need Kraven specifically. Yeah, agree. They could have had any villain or villains for the first half of the game, for all the connection there is between the symbiote story and the rest. Oh yeah. Once Venom comes on the scene, Kraven is killed almost immediately, and the horror story just disappears. Maybe they could have had Kraven stick around longer, still cause trouble for Spider-Man trying to go after Venom on his own. Maybe force him to work together with the heroes and Lee once. I would have liked that. And save his ultimate death for the finale. That's actually a great idea. No, I would have reiterated my point. All right, Kraven would be the absolute Chad best character in this game if that was the case. Instead, he's just discarded as soon as Venom appears. I also found Kraven for the most part to be an uncompelling villain. I disagree. Compared to the ones in other games, his story is kept in the dark for far too long. It's not really a problem though, is it? It's just a problem of how much you play the game. And we need to give him an army so we can have a generic nukes to fight, reduces the final. Yes! That's a great point. I agree with that criticism. Yes. Especially with the female hunters, it's stupid. At the end of the day, yeah, Spider-Man needs someone to punch. But I kind of wish, it was more personal. Like I reiterated in the video with the Civil War clip, between him and Peter, just fighting. Although it makes sense for Kraven to have like a whole organization, to have a whole money, to have this whole organization thing to organize his hunts. I see your point that making it more personal, reducing the henchman middleman kind of thing and making it more personal, therefore making it more engaging. I see your point with that, but then again, on the other hand, I do see the need for Kraven to have kind of like a organized thing with henchmen, with loads of tech to take on these villains of New York. So I would have, if I were making this, I would have probably went for the more personal Kraven by himself. Closer to the comics, I suppose, with, Kraven's last hunt and whatnot. But I don't mind Kraven having henchmen. Apart from having women henchmen for some reason. I don't know why that was the case. which is the actual hunter part of his persona. Should have been out there hunting and stalking the villains himself, not relying on thousands of soldiers and high-tech gear and whatnot. Yeah, the thing is, like, the henchmen capture the villains, and then he fights them in the enclosed area. And the final third of the game also felt rushed, with Venom kept out of the spotlight for two. Yes, definitely. Not enough agency for Harry. They do build up why he feels resentful towards Pete while he's in his black suit phase, but once he gets the symbiote back, we don't see enough of Harry anymore. Instead of Venom being a amalgamation of Harry and the symbiote, a we, just ends up feeling Harry is hijacked and brainwashed by an alien. Yes. Agreed. It didn't feel really special to me. Like, with Eddie Brock, there's like this connection between the symbiote. They like each other. You know, they work in perfect cohesion. Does Harry want to invade the world? Not really. So the alien kind of, you know, tricks him into it. I think if it was Eddie Brock, I don't think Eddie would mind invading the Earth. Where was I? Instead of Venom being an amalgamation of her, we just end up feeling Harry. Tony Todd, that was his name. That was the voice actor's name. I completely forgot. He's a great actor and had a great voice for Venom. The fact that they have completely different voice actors for Venom and Harry just all makes it more like Venom isn't Harry at all, which undermines the resentment and motives Harry was building up, and how he would choose to become Venom freely. It was still a fun game, but much more flawed in the story than the first. Agreed. You know, I do have some gameplay criticisms though too. There were some improvements, definitely, but I think there were some big step downs as well. I don't know if the game... I'm still on the fence whether the gameplay is better or just meh. Or on par with the first game. Because there was some, like, weird choices, like, you could definitely, like, reduce the health bars and stuff like that in the pause menu. You can still have skip the buttons, skip the puzzles, I mean. And that just is weird to me. Like, if you're going to reduce the enemy's health, like, dramatically, like, turn on cheats, you should not be getting achievements, at the very least. You know? You can easily cheat and get the achievements if you just lower the health of your enemies to nothing. And higher up your damage on... And it works on any difficulty as well, which is weird. But yeah, I will like that comment. Cheers, Kenta, you make some good points. I slightly disagree with you on your Craven take. I thought he was very competent. I was probably interested the most in Craven. You know, you do mention that they kind of reveal his motives a little too late in the game, but I don't know, that's what just kept me playing the game. That's what made me interested. Like, who is this badass guy, you know? But yeah. And I disagree and agree for one reason. I liked every portrayal here. Venom was awesome, and I don't think you need a deep thought try to take for the symbiote for Venom to be a good character. True, but what they did here was not executed properly, and I'm wondering if they executed Kraven so well and he was just a badass, competent villain, I think it would have been a better idea to get Eddie Brock as Venom as well, instead of just doing the cliche old trope of the first game of being corrupted by something and wanting to destroy the world for it. I also very much enjoyed Peter with the black suit. What I didn't enjoy was everyone saying he was doing something wrong. The only thing he did that regular Pete wouldn't have done, at least in the beginning, was tell Miles to stay behind. Otherwise, he did everything he was supposed to and could do. My problem with the story is that it ended too soon. Would have loved more of Pete with the symbiote and more relationship building and more of Venom's takeover. I feel like he was underused. Venom was definitely underused. I would agree with that point. I get rid of the Venom symbiote. We've had enough of world stakes. Peter did kill Harry, or Miles brought him back, but now Harry is in a coma. If your actions cause whatever is right thing or not. To be in a coma that they may or may not wake up from it. It would impact you mentally and emotionally, especially if it was a friend. Okay. So you're probably rebutting my point that wouldn't it be a better idea if Harry had died and then Peter takes a break? No, it's the same emotional impact if Harry's in a coma. No, I think they're having the cake and eating it too. Like, I went back to my point. That he's killing Harry, but Harry's still alive. You know? A bunch of pussies. Not going off, killing a character. I still think it would have been more understandable for Peter to basically if Harry had died. Because right now, we as the audience watching, we know who Harry's going to get back from the coma. We just know. You know, Peter might not know it, but we know. It just feels like a cop-out. I know Harry should be dead because Dr. Kirk Connors, you are full of shit. You clearly told us Harry would die. He didn't. Yeah, they wussed it out. I think Harry should be dead. Especially with his disease and all. To be honest, I don't think the story was terrible, but my opinion, but I liked it. But I hated how short it was. I don't know, with MJ being an arse and stuff like that, to me it just felt long. It was also my friend spoiled some of the main plot points and twists and stories I could enjoy. Sorry to hear that, mate. I had that with Force Awakens and someone spoiled to me that Han was gonna die. Luckily, I forgot it when watching it, but yeah, I was annoyed at a friend. So I know how you feel. How it feels to be spoilt. I think I was a little bit spoiled about the symbiote invasion, unfortunately. We've also seen the symbiote invasion done twice before in video games alone. Yeah, the PS1 game. I didn't know they did it in PS. I completely forgot that they did it in the PS1 game. Web of Shadows as well. A far better symbiote invasion. Because they had original designs instead of using the Donny Cates ones. I think the Donny Cates ones are ugly designs. I don't like that they're multicolored. You know, one's green, one's red, one's pink. Stupid. Get rid of the rainbow colored symbiotes. I don't think Web of Shadows symbiote designs can be beaten. Definitely not. Okay. Where was I? Yeah, there we go. I don't agree with this entirely, but I do hope they have to make this. Okay, fair enough. They went with Harry because he was a culturally. Yeah. Again, that supports my point. To be honest, they wanted to make him more sympathetic, you know, because he was important to Peter and all. I say, screw that. Have him be Eddie Brock. Have him be an absolute scumbag, and see how well you can manage him to be like a competent, really creepy ass villain. I would have loved for a good adaptation of Venom in this game, and they didn't. You know, kids, they didn't execute the whole Harry thing very well, and I'm just in this video. I was just wondering, what if they did it this way? Could have been better if it was this way, you know. Wishful thinking, I suppose. Dreamful thinking. Well, if this won't be the first time he leaves the city to Miles, when he did it before, Miles had far less experience than he does now. Peter says that he was able to not only fix his mistakes but take care of the city after all. Plus, Peter has said he would be available if Miles needs. So if Craven level threat happens, Miles can just call. The thing is, you can't be Spider-Man for a time. All right. Right. So if Peter sees a mugging in front of him, should he call Miles or should he step in? But he he's taking a break. He shouldn't be Spider-Man because he's taking a break. You know, all that emotional turmoil. You can't be a hero or not be a hero. There's no middle ground here. All right? If you're saving this one mugger, what's stopping you from stopping the mugger from 5 or 10 blocks away? What's stopping you from helping out the entire city? There is a level of irresponsibility on Peter's part for taking a break. And it is so fundamentally not Spider-Man. It frustrates me to high heavens. Okay. There's a lot to respond to. Okay. You know what? I think you guys might be getting tired of me listening to me yapper on. It's 1 hour and 30, so I will call it there. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I usually try to get the streams like at least 90 minutes. And it's been 90 minutes. I've been yapping on and ranting about this 90 minutes. I guess I had a lot to take off my heart, a lot to take off my chest. Anyway, everyone, thank you so much for listening in. There won't be a True Pop Culture 7 show next week. I won't be on the Legion of Mima stream next week either. I'll be going away on like a weekend retreat. Yeah, hopefully I'll enjoy it. I don't have any plans for videos to announce in the future. I'm sure I'll make something. Anyway, thank you everyone so much for sticking with me, and I will see you all later. Bye.